Welcome back again on the Verizon Fios pregame show. Over their last 5 games, a lot of moving parts have added up to giving the Nets 4 victories. To discuss a few of the important factors during that stretch and to answer questions submitted by you, the fans, here's the latest edition of BKConnect, hosted by our own Chris Sheeran.
Hello everyone and welcome to the latest and greatest edition of BKConnect. If you want to get your questions heard by our experts here, that's Devin Carparian from the BrooklynGame.com and Rod Boone of Newsday. You know what to do by now. You just send your questions to our Facebook page, Instagram page, or Twitter page using the hashtag BKConnect. And on our last edition, Rod, we got to give you some credit. You came up with the idea having Paul Pierce come off the bench. Couple things. How's it working and how's his mindset about coming off the bench?
So far it's been really good, Chris. I think his mindset is, as a veteran, whatever I can do to help the team out, whatever he can do to go out there, help him out, he wants to do. It's a little bit of a thing for him. It takes time to get used to coming off the bench. You started your entire career, different mentality, but right now it's working out for the team. We'll see how long it goes on, but Jason Kidd will say he wants to do it for the foreseeable future, but we'll see how long it takes to do that.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting about having Pierce off the bench is that it really does open up looks for Joe Johnson in the first unit. You know, you saw a lot of times they were trading possessions back and forth, trying to get one guy going, then another guy going. But with Johnson out there alone, you could see him catch fire. They're going to go to him as their first option. Then with Pierce coming off the bench, we saw it a little in the fourth quarter on Monday night. He got a couple of threes, got his rhythm going. He's starting to look a little better now coming off the bench.
Yeah, and speaking about a guy who used to come off the bench, but now is in a starting role because of Brook being injured, that's Andre Blatch. And, you know, you can't say enough about this guy. How important has it been for Jason Kidd to see this performance out of Blatch lately?
Well, with Brook injured, they've needed a big guy to step up. You know, they were able to put Mirza Teletovic out of the 4 starting on Monday night. But, you know, Blatch has scored, I think, 20 points in each of his last 3 games. With Brook out, they need to get some scoring from the interior, and Blatch has been that guy so far.
All right, Devin and Rod, let's get to our first question here, and it's from Physical Fitch. At Physical Fitch, I wonder if that's Bill Fitch, via the Twitter. Are the Nets fast enough to close out on threes for 48 minutes, Rod?
You know, it's a tough question to answer. As of right now, the answer is no. But I think that'll change when Kirilenko comes back, AK-47. He's one guy who's able to probably play guys on defense a little bit better, the perimeter. Deron Williams right now a little bit slow getting back from his ankle injury. Joe's okay every now and then closing out, but the Nets' 3-point defense has been horrific so far. I think it'll get better when AK-47 comes back.
Yeah, I think there's something here. It's not just speed also, it's also smarts and scheme. You know, you can be the fastest guy on the team, but if you're moving on the catch on the pass rather than when the pass is thrown, you're not going to get to your man on the perimeter regardless.
Right.
So they need to have, they need to have a little bit, they need to simplify their scheme, I think, a little bit more. They need to make sure that they're getting to their spots. They need to communicate where their spots have to be on the floor. And if they can do that, perimeter defense is not that complicated. If they're moving, if they're communicating, if they know where they have to be, depending on where the ball is, I think they'll be fine. But clearly there's something that needs to change now.
Well, the biggest thing so far is the defensive scheme has been simplified, apparently, from what we heard from the players. They're closing out better. They know who's going to rotate where. They're talking a lot more on defense, so that's helped them out so far.
Yeah, the third quarter and perimeter defense have been 2 of the Nets' hot topics this season, as we all know. But just a little tidbit for all you Nets fans out there. Joe Johnson's 29 in the last game against the Sixers. That was better than the Nets team in 20 of their last 23 third quarters leading up to that game. So that was pretty amazing. We had another poll like we did last month, gentlemen. Poll last month was about the best play of that month. This month it was about who deserves more playing time. And here were our 3 candidates: Allen Anderson, Mason Plumlee, Mirza Teletovic. Mirza won with 43% of the vote. Mason Plumlee at 32. Allen Anderson 25. Rod, you agree, disagree?
I agree. I think Mirza right now is giving something off the bench. He's become more than just a scorer out there. His biggest thing last was just a 3-point shooter. Spot up his shots. If he doesn't hit his shots, not really a good player out there for him. So he's doing more of a rebounding thing, playing better defense. I think Mirza is helping him out in a lot of ways right about now.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mirza Teletovic, he's shown a lot that he's more than just a scorer. Like you said, he's been a great passer. He's been, trying to show some effort defensively. But I think one thing that's important to note here is that Allen Anderson has worked his way into the starting lineup. I mean, I know that Pierce was going to come off the bench either way, but Allen Anderson was the guy that they went to. And with him in the lineup, with him, spotting up around Joe in Deron with him not taking a lot of possessions. They're not trying to run things through him, but he can be that kind of fifth option where they can get him the ball in open spots and just rely on him to knock down threes. So while Mirza has been great, and I agree with you, I think Allen Anderson also deserves some credit.
Just a quick comment from each of you, because we haven't done this since Deron Williams came back. So how important has he been for this team since he came back?
Unbelievable, man. I mean, every player talks about just how much Deron makes this team go. You can see it out there in the court. He spaces things well. He can shoot the three-pointer, which, you know, a couple guys behind him can't really do well right now. He's a playmaker out there. It just seems like he's a comfort zone when he's out there on the floor. So having him back is really good for this team.
He's been incredible. Let me put it this way. With Joe Johnson with the ball in his hands, he's the biggest threat on the floor. With Brook Lopez with the ball in his hands, he's the biggest threat on the floor. With Deron with the ball in his hands, everyone is a threat on the floor. Exactly. And that's the biggest difference with him back.
I agree. Great point.
And we're going to end on that point right there. For Devin Carparian and Rod Boone, I'm Chris Sheeran. Remember, if you want to get your questions answered by our experts, all you have to do, once again, go to our Yes Network Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter page using the hashtag BKConnect.